व्याप्तं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरक्ता रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णसगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यो एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण।
Haribol Prabhuji, very nice Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So, devotees, we are in chapter 15, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. This is referred to as the Purushottama Yoga because Krishna is talking about he has been talking about many of his qualities, energies, but here he is giving little more explanation to all those. In 15.6, we saw Krishna is saying that there are many lights, illumination, but he is the source. Goloka Vrindavan is the place where you get the highest illumination. Material world also has got illumination. We have a sun and a moon. But Krishna's Goloka Vrindavan, the higher you go, you experience all the higher elements. And Prabhupada also has explained that the material world makes up about 1/4 of the entire creation for each universe. And there are two types of two stages of living entities. One is conditioned, one is liberated. So once if we get liberated, as Krishna has been explaining, the banyan tree upside down, there are roots both ways. So from the root that is expanding from the branches and the trunk, those are all the material element. So we are like the leaves, we fall down, then again we take birth. It's an eternal thing happening. And the upper root is what Krishna is asking us to concentrate. Once if we go to the higher platform, then he is also talking about how we can get a spiritual identity, which he is going to talk about more on 15.7. That how all living entities have a spiritual form also, which the higher and higher you go, for example, even to the Swargalok, which may be the closest to the material world, Bhuloka, you cannot go with the same material body. It will be much more subtle. So the more and more you go up, like Janaloka, Tapaloka, and so on, then it will become much more subtle. Then when you reach the Brahma level, which is Brahmaloka, Brahma is almost 99.99% complete consciousness. He's perfect because he's been created by Krishna like that. But still, he's in this material control. I mean, he's in charge for everything. Krishna is the supreme controller, but Brahma is acting under his instruction. And he has got, Brahma has got every opportunity to reach the spiritual world because he's perfect, already perfect. So when we reach, if at all, when we reach Brahma Loka, we won't have this body at all. It will be very, very light, filled with consciousness. And the more we go higher, Brahma Jyoti is one, where all the Vedantis want to go there, just merge with that consciousness. The devotees want to go even higher, where, like the Ayodhya planet, or the highest will be the Vaikuntha planet is there, Ayodhya planet is there. Then on the top is Goloka Brahma. So for a devotee, when we would reach that level, Prabhupada will explain in this 15.7 that we will get a spiritual form. We will. In Vaikuntha, there are many entities, they look like Vishnu, Mahavishnu. They exactly look. They are very opulent. They have everything. They have the strength, they have the beauty, they have the power. But their mood is not ownership. These are all only entities who have reached, who are already there, who have reached Vaikuntha. So for them, there is no envy, no jealous, because they already reached the perfect realization. Their mood is just to serve Vishnu, Krishna, Lord Hari. So Krishna is going to talk a little more about how this Jivatma what happens to, he is relating the Jivatma to his energy. Let us read that. He's calling that as a Mamaiva Amsa. Amsa means the one component, small part and parcel of the overall. So let us read this, Prabhuji's, Mataji's. This is 15.7.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, then I can try, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
Mamaivaamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatana manashasthani indriyani prakritim sthani karshati. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Haribol. I'm saying our Bhashati Mataji is there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
ममैश्वंशा जीवलोके जीवभूताः सनातना मनः शास्तनीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थाने कर्षति.
Very nice, Mataji. Maybe Raghu Prabhu.
Amaivanso jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manasasthana indriyani prakritistani karshati.
Very nice, Prabhuji. So today we have lesser participation. So maybe I'll take this opportunity, if you all think it's okay, I'll read the synonym and translation, and then there is quite a bit of purport. It's quite a lengthy purport, so all of us can read. So synonym and translation by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Mama, my, eva, certainly, amsa, fragmental particle, jiva loke, in the world of conditional life, jiva bhuta, the conditioned living entity, sanatana, eternal, mana, with the mind, sasthani, the six, indriyani, senses, prakriti, immaterial nature, sthani, situated, karsati, is struggling hard. Okay. So now let us see what is the translation. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to the conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with six senses, which include the mind. Devotees, what are the six senses which include the mind also? That means maybe the other five senses. What are the five senses, devotees?
Prabhuji, smell,
Yeah.
sight, hearing, touch, and taste.
Yeah, taste. Correct, Prabhu. That's correct. So we have those five senses. That is what everything we do, it is because of these five senses. We see something, we smell something, we taste something, we hear, and then we get touch something. Even the car when we drive, we get a feeling. So all these are senses, and this is all on the top. There is mind. Mind again, there is mind. Buddhi is there, mana is there, buddhi is there, viveka is there. Mind, intelligence, and intellect, and above that is consciousness. Then how would we control the false ego and the good ego, that I'm a servant of Krishna? So I think Prabhupada has given very nice purport for this. Let us read this. Let's take turn, Prabhu. Devotees. We don't have not too many devotees today. So
Shall I start?
sure, Prabhu. Absolutely.
Purport by Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. In this verse, the identity of the living being is clearly given. The living entity is the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord eternally. It is not that he assumes individuality in his conditional life and in his liberated state becomes one with the Supreme Lord. He is eternally fragmented. It is clearly said, Sanatanaha. According to the Vedic version, the Supreme Lord manifests and expands himself in innumerable expansions, of which the primary expansions are called Vishnu Tattva and the secondary expansions are called the living entities. In other words, the Vishnu Tattva is the personal expansion and the living entities are the separated expansions. By his personal expansion, he is manifested in various forms like Lord Rama, Narsimha Vishnu Murti, and all the predominating deities in the Vaikuntha planets. The separated expansions, the living entities, are eternally servitors. The personal expansions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the individual identities of the Godhead are always present. Similarly, the separated expansion of living entities have their identities. As fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, the living entities also have fragmental portions of his qualities, of which independence is one. Every living entity as an individual soul has his personal individuality and a minute form of independence. By misuse of that independence, one becomes a conditioned soul, and by proper use of independence, he is always liberated. In either case, he is qualitatively eternal, as the Supreme Lord is. In his liberated state, he is freed from the material condition, and he is under the engagement of the transcendental service unto the Lord. In his conditioned life, he is dominated by the material modes of nature, and he forgets the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a result, he has to struggle very hard to maintain his existence in the material world.
Haribol, Prabhu. Who can read the next paragraph, devotees?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
Okay. The living entities, not only human beings and the cats and dogs, but even the greater controllers of material world, Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even Vishnu, are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. They are all eternal, not temporary manifestations. The work, kar sati, struggling or grappling hard, is very significant. The conditioned soul is bound up as though shackled by iron chains. He is bound by the false ego, and the mind is the chief agent which is driving him in this material existence. When the mind is in the mode of goodness, his activities are good. When the mind is in the mode of passion, his activities are troublesome. And when the mind is in the mode of ignorance, he travels in all lower species of life. It is clear, however, in this verse that the conditioned soul is covered by the material body with the mind and the senses. And when he is liberated, this material covering perishes. But this spiritual body manifests itself in its individual capacity. The following information is there in the Madhyananda Shruti Sava Esa Brahma Nishta Idam Shariram Martyam Atishra Brahma Bhishma Pada Brahmana Pashyati Brahmana Sronti Brahmani Vedam. Sorry, Sarva Anubhavati. It is stated here that when a living entity gives up this material embodiment and enters into the spiritual world, he receives his spiritual body. And in his spiritual body, he can see the Supreme Personality of God face to face. He can hear and speak to him face to face. And he can understand the Supreme Personality of as he is. From Smriti also, it is understood Vasanti Yatra Purusha Sarva Vaikunta Murtayaha. In the spiritual planet, everyone living in bodies featured like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As far as bodily construction is concerned, there is no difference between the part and parcel living entities and the expansion of Vishnumurti. In other words, at liberation, the living entity gets a spiritual body by the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Haribol Prabhuji. Maybe Bhashwati Mataji, you want to read this?
Yes, Prabhuji. The words Mamaibham Shaha, fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, are also very significant. The fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is not like some material broken part. We have already understood in the second chapter that the spirit cannot be cut into pieces. This fragment is not materially conceived. It is not like matter, which can be cut into pieces and joined together again. That conception is not applicable here because the Sanskrit word Sanatana, eternal, is used. The fragmental portion is eternal. It is also stated in the beginning of the second chapter that in each and every individual body, the fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is present. Dehinosmin yatha dehe. That fragmental portion, when liberated from the bodily entanglement, revives its original spiritual body in the spiritual sky, in a spiritual planet, and enjoys association with the Supreme Lord. It is, however, understood here that the living entity, being the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is qualitatively one with the Lord, just as the parts and parcels of gold are also gold. Krishna.
More thoughts, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Here, this purport Prabhupada is explaining that the living entities are conditioned in this material world, and condition means like the living entity thinks habituated to be influenced by these three modes of material nature, and that's why we are suffering in this material world, because we like to enjoy ourselves in this material world, but we have to remember that we are the parts and parcels of Lord Krishna, and these parts and parcels, as Prabhupada explaining, it's not like we can cut into pieces. It's eternal. because we are the soul, we are not the body. That's what that is our real identity. But I'm thinking I'm the body, so I have lot of bodily needs in this material world, but actually I am the soul. And when I will get that realization, then it's possible to be liberated from this material world and go back to the Godhead and live with Krishna in the spiritual world, getting a spiritual body, and that body is also eternal, will not never perish. So, and thus actually the parts of, we are the parts and parcels. So we are the soul and Krishna is the super soul. We are the Anu and Krishna is the Vibhu. So that's what Prabhupada is explaining here. That's that relationship we have to establish in this material world with the help of Guru and with the help of Acharyas and Shastra. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Very nice, Mataji. Very bon. Subal Prabhuji, Raghu Prabhu, Subal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji, wonderfully explained by Mataji. We can see that, we are all actually part and parcel of the Lord. We have always been part and parcel. But, due to our, nature, we came here. So it's like, we have come into a dungeon. Right. We are all eternal fragment of the parcel of the Lord. But the Supreme Lord manifests, because we can see that the living entity, because we know that, qualitatively, of course, we are not exactly same, but like an ocean and a drop of, water in the ocean, the qualitatively pretty much similar, but quantitatively, Krishna is, unlimited. So that's why, we can see that we are always trying to imitate, and that's why we say, it says that the spiritual world and this material world is, mirror image. Of course, in the spiritual world, everything is like the seva bhava is highest, and here it is not. It is the lowest. So, and that way, all the living entities, not only human beings, cats, and dogs, are the controllers. We think that we are controllers. And Prabhupada mentions that even Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even Vishnu are also parts and parcels of Lord Krishna. And, we are all eternal manifestations. Only this material world is temporary. But we, Jiva, are always eternal. And the conditioned soul is bound by, sometimes in iron chains, silver chains, and gold chains, like with the three modes of material nature we discussed very elaborately in the previous chapter. So, right, and also you wonderfully mentioned how about our five senses, including the mind, are acting upon it. So when the mind is in the mode of passion or goodness, in the morning generally we are do good activities. In the afternoon, we are a little passionate, and in the evening or night, ignorance mostly. So in this way, we are always, but for pure devotees, they are always in Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. And the living entity gives us this material embodiment when they get the spiritual consciousness and spiritual world. And that's why we see that, when we can hear and speak, Lord Prabhupada says that once we are in the spiritual body, we can have conversation with the Supreme Lord face to face, interact with him face to face, like that. Yeah, that's my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Very well, Prabhu. Very nice, Prabhuji. Raghu Prabhu.
Yeah. So, Bharati Mataji and Subal Prabhu explained everything very nicely. So we are at already stated, we are fragmental parts and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and we are also eternal, uh, like the Supreme Lord. Our soul is eternal. The body, of course, is temporary. Then we are also expansions of the Supreme Lord. Uh, the primary expansion or the personal expansion of the Vishnu Tattva, called Vishnu Tattva, those are the personal expansions like Lord Rama, Narasimhadeva, and so on, Vishnu Murti, and so on. But we are we are also expansions of the Lord, but secondary expansions. We are also eternal, and in our original state, we are also Satchit and Ananda. But then we have separated out and come to this material world, and but the Lord is independent, and we also have been given independence. But we have misused our independence once we come to the material world, and because of misuse of that independence, we have become conditioned. And once we are conditioned, then we are subject to the three modes of material nature. So again, we have to go through the process of rising above these three modes of material nature, above the mode of goodness to Shuddha Sattva, and do bhakti and try and get ourselves liberated again. So once we are liberated, uh, then we don't merge with the supreme. We are still uh, eternal, but still fragmental uh, parts and parcels, part of the Supreme Lord. And when we are liberated, our purpose then is to do seva to the to be a servitor, do seva to the Lord. Uh, yeah. So those are some of the things I got from my part of it.
Very nice,
Okay.
Prabhuji. Yeah. So we are seeing that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Our soul right now, it is surrounded by the material elements. That's the only problem. Otherwise, soul, if you just take the soul, it is always a distinct part and parcel of Krishna. Distinct. Meaning, it is separate like a blood cell. Blood cell, even though in our body, that particular blood cell always remain distinct. So, like that, the soul, but what is happening here is that the soul is not able to come up with its original position, original quality, which is 100% completely Krishna consciousness. That's not happening. And Prabhupada is saying, Karsati, somewhere he mentioned, struggling here. The word Karsati, struggling, is very significant. The conditioned soul is bound up and is like almost like he's chained, is bound by his false ego. So, Prabhupada is giving very nice explanation that he has given not particularly in this purport, but he has mentioned in other purport also. The primary is expansions, manifestation. They are called as the Swa Amsa. It's original, same, nothing. There is no difference at all. What is the difference at all, if at all, between, like, let's say, Narasimha Bhagavan or Rama or Parshuram or so many other manifestation is expansion, is that they are Krishna only. They're not secondary expansion like us. They are complete Krishna, but they do not display all the qualities of Krishna. Like even us, who is Subal Prabhu? Subal Prabhu has got so many qualities, so many bhav and so many elements. He may not show that all the time to all the people. during book distribution, he may be in certain particular mood. But Krishna is that's why he's called Paripurna incarnation or manifestation. Krishna is not actually an incarnation. He comes as Krishna, the supreme personality of God. Is Rama inferior to Krishna? Not at all. It is Krishna only. But Rama also, it does not, the kala, what they say, it does not display all the qualities of himself. So that's why we always give more importance to Krishna, but they don't change. They are 100% spiritual. It is not that because they are an expansion, suddenly Vishnu will think, no, I'm going to become material. They are Krishna only. 100% all the time they are spiritual because they are Krishna. Whereas the secondary manifestation, expansion, it's called, I think, Vibhina Amsa. Vibhina means the fragmental. We are covered with all the material elements. God is the main problem, our false ego, our mind, our intelligence, and all the material, the senses, all, and the gross element. This comes and it conceals us from understanding our original position. It's like the clouds, they sometimes they completely disguise the sky or even the sun or the moon. You cannot even see the sun or the moon because there is so much cloud. Like that, the cloud is the material element. It's completely covering the soul. The soul is stuck. That's why Prabhupada is saying, Karshati, that the soul, we are being given in this position. That is why this is called Tatashta Shakti. Right? Antaranga Shakti is its internal, which all the Vishnu Tattva all come is primary expansion. Then Bahiranga is all the material. But we are caught in between those two. We have a very powerful feature of Krishna, Jivatma. We have it qualitatively the same, but quantity-wise, we are very, very limited. Yet it is very powerful because the Jivatma is part and parcel of, but the proper understanding would be that I am part and parcel of Krishna, and my job is to work according to Krishna's wishes, Krishna's instruction. I want to serve him. It's like a big machine is there. We are a small screw. We cannot suddenly think that I'm going to do my own way. It will not even work. So we have to work according to the larger energy and the larger entity, which is Krishna. The only way we can do it, Vedantis also are trying for this only, but they are concentrating more on the Brahma Jyoti. They're not paying too much attention to Krishna. For them, it is not more of servitude, but it is more of a realization. I just want to have the, pure consciousness. But we want to add more ananda to it, more happiness, more, because that is our original, that is the top layer of the spiritual world. Sat, Chit, you can be eternal. Sat, you can have a lot of knowledge, a lot of awareness. That's also good. You may get that in Brahma Jyoti also. But how are we going to get that ananda? So we see that in the spiritual platform, it is unchangeable and it is eternal, two qualities. They don't change at all and it is eternal. However, the secondary expansion, which we are, there is, because we have the independent, there is a chance we might fall. Not his primary expansion. His primary expansions are all Krishna only. They will never fall. They are all Krishna. But the secondary ones, all the living entities, the human beings and so many other species, we can fall. Even after going to spiritual world. That's a very big difference between Krishna's, the primary expansion and the separated expansion, the fragmented energies living, that we are the living entities. So once we understand that, that we are, even after reaching there, our goal is not to feel ownership or to think that I am the Lord, because now I have reached this kind of a, of course, it needs the perfect knowledge to even reach that level. Even at the level of Brahmaloka, you would have become perfect consciousness, pure. Otherwise, you cannot even reach Brahmaloka. So Krishna is saying that if you can do that, then you can talk to him. There is here Srila Prabhupada is saying he can hear and speak to him face to face. He can understand the Supreme Personality as he is. So this is an opportunity for us to really interact with Krishna. Again, but talking meaning what? We are not going to command Krishna. Krishna, I'm telling you, do this or do that. Our role there is also like a servant, because that is the Jiva's position. Even though, let's say, the owner of a big, the master, he allows the servant to come and stay in the mansion, we cannot become owner of that mansion. We know that this belongs to the master. Yes, he has very kindly, he has accepted me in this mansion. I can live here. Or many times, the servant, for example, in India, the chauffeur, the driver, they drive the car more than the owner. The owner doesn't even, many times, they won't even drive the car. But the driver should not think, oh, I'm driving all the time and I'm maintaining it, I'm controlling it, I'm the owner. When he thinks like that, that is when all the problem of, that is what is the false ego. A servant's perfect understanding is that I have been given all this opportunity. I've been given, like again, that car chauffeur example. The chauffeur, the master might have given him a very good car, most luxurious car. But the driver exactly should know, a good driver will know, yes, I'm going to maintain it. The best way I can serve is that maintain this car very nicely, serve my master nicely. That is my job. We see that in India, many times there are, the drivers, they come, they have the car, it is not their car at all. They are working for whoever is the owner is. But again, it is because we have that independence, there is a possibility we might misuse that also. So any more thoughts, Bhashwati Mataji? I see Shyam Prasad Prabhu has joined.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada is saying, once if you become completely pure, you can speak with Krishna. You can talk to him. You can dance with him. You can do whatever you want to do with him, What do you think about that, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. I'm very, very happy about hearing your class just now. I've reached.
Okay.
Comparatively, this in driver like in India, it is very, very good comparison. People always think that I know everything. I am senior bhakti, this devotee, like that. You should not get at any circumstances. We should avoid that I. Then only we can fruitive activities in our bhakti. Last week I have seen, since last week I was in Vijayawada, so my personal problems. So I got very, very good news from our Tampa ISKCON is going to build a very good temple in Tampa. My mind is always in ISKCON Tampa, but my body is here. I'm very, very happy. Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna.
When your body also is in Tampa, Prabhu, just stay in touch with Shubal Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. All of you.
No, we will all be there. But
Yes, Prabhuji.
Subal Prabhu is available for everyone at every moment. So
Just
there is lot of opportunity for Seva Prabhu, unlimited.
yes, Prabhuji. Just now
Especially
I want.
now, there is unlimited opportunity for all of us to do Seva.
Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam Prabhuji. Once more, I want to share my own happiness. Last week, I went to Vijayawada. There, I met with an advocate, Prabhuji. He is Supreme Court advocate, not only Supreme Court advocate, he is also international advocate, Prabhuji. He, he explained about Swadharma and Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami Kavacha. He told non-stoply 8 to 10 minutes, Prabhuji. I got a shock. Since 40 to 50 years, I am seeing so many advocates, but I have never seen like this advocate, Prabhuji. I requested him to come once more, once upon at least once to our Tampa. He promised me definitely I will come. He is not only devotee, Prabhuji. There is no words to describe about his capability and bhakti, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandot Pranam.
Very good, Prabhuji. You are able to meet elevated devotees. That is very good. Devotee is the only way. No, I would not say only way. The most efficient way is Bhakti Yoga. By that, we can see that there is a greater possibility, greater probability we can reach at the lotus feet of Krishna by becoming pure, by thinking about Krishna. And we always think we are very minute. We are not even servant of Krishna. Dasa Anudasa. So we are servant of Krishna. That is the mood of a devotee, good devotee. There is a very nice pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent most of his Leela in Puri Jagannath. And many of us would have visited Jagannath Mandir. Sometimes it can get so much crowded. You cannot even enter the temple. So at this one particular evening, there were too much rush. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just thinking about all the devotees. He always used to think the devotees as gopis in the Braja mood, That was his mood of, always thinking about Jagannath. How all these wonderful devotees, I'm seeing gopis everywhere. I'm seeing gopas everywhere. Then this one particular Mataji, because she wanted to take a darshan of Lord Jagannath, she wanted to climb the Garuda Stamba. I think we might have seen when you have visited Jagannath Mandir, there is a Jagannath Stamba. Has anyone seen that? Garuda Stamba?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So this lady or Mataji, in that moment, she stood upon the Garuda Stamba. Normally, it is not allowed because Garuda is a very great devotee of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. Not only that, the other feet she put on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on his shoulder, because she wanted to get high, on the higher level and take a darshan. Now, Govinda was a personal kind of a servant, assistant for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He pulled that woman down because he was really shocked. What is she doing? She's first of all putting one feet on Garuda Stamba, another feet on the shoulder of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Two aparat simultaneously. Then immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, why are you doing this? She's so much eager to have a darshan of Jagannath. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I wish I get that kind of an enthusiasm to have the darshan of the Lord. Because it is Krishna only, but he is displaying the mood of the devotee. This is the mood of the devotee. So, this has got a very nice pastime that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is displaying, that even though outwardly it seems like that the woman has done some aparat, by not following certain guidelines, but look at her move. That is what Krishna also does. When Putana was trying to poison him, he removed the poison. He just took the positive of that. Putana came here as a motherly love. She wanted to feed me. It takes only the positive. So if Putana had intentionally, she had, ill intention, he gave her a spiritual platform. So if we are then what would happen to devotees who are always thinking about Krishna and not doing any aparadha and always trying to be servant of Krishna and his devotees? Think how Krishna would treat us. We would be in a much, much better position, right? But we have to be pure. That's the only thing. So, devotees, any more thoughts? We have few more moments. Ashwati Mataji, you want to say something? I'm seeing Vena Mataji is here. If you want to say anything. Okay, maybe Ashwati Mataji, you want to say something?
A very nice discussion, Prabhu, as you mentioned about the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and that lady, and it was really very astonishing pastime, and how much eagerness someone should have. And this Jagannath Puri Dham, Prabhu, is always very crowded every time. If you go in the 4 o'clock, it's crowded. If you go at 11 p.m. night, still crowded. All the time it's crowded. And but still, all the bhaktas are always eager to see the Lord. And sometimes it's very hard to see the Lord from far. It's very hard, but still, it's the taking the darshan of Lord Jagannath Mahaprabhu is very, very auspicious. So, thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that's true. Jagannath, that is why Jagannath is so significant. The place itself is Purushottama, Loka. It is the purest place. If somebody can walk on Puri, somebody can hear something about Krishna in Puri, somebody can say something about Lord Jagannath, that itself is considered as a very, very, very spiritual activity. Yeah. Raghu Prabhu, have you been there in Jagannath Puri?
No, unfortunately, I have not. I've been to Rameshwar.
Yeah. Rameshwar is also very good.
But I was very young when I went. But I remember it. We have to go on a train, there's a bridge and it takes you into the region, because I think it's a little bit away from the shore, the temple itself. And it's a very sprawling temple. And I remember also there was an island just off it called Dhanushkodi, and we all bathed over there. But then, uh, and at that time, even my grandfather was with us. And so that's how far back it is. But and then several years later, that whole Dhanushkodi was submerged in a typhoon or something. So it no longer existed. But this temple is a Shiva temple, and Rama actually took darshan over there. I think on his way or way back, that I don't know. But it's a very nice ancient temple, uh, worth visiting if one can go there.
Absolutely, Prabhu. It's a very nice temple. There are 21 wells there, Prabhu. Well, and normally devotees, when they go there, they take some volunteers will be standing. They'll pull the water from each well and they'll pour it on your head. You'll take like a snana, like a bathing on all the 21 wells, one after another. It's a very nice experience. As in, I think, Subal Prabhu, you might have been to Rameshwaram, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, I was very young, Prabhuji,
Oh.
not recently.
Yeah, it's a wonderful experience. It's considered as one of the, Char Dham. Rameshwaram is one of them. Jagannath Puri is one. Dwarka is one. Badrinath is one. So it's a very, very nice experience, very serene. And very close to that, just on the way to Rameshwaram, there is a small town and it has got one of the best Lord Rama's temple. Massive temple. They were not very well maintained because of so many factors. But that is probably the only temple where Lord Rama is on a reclining posture, like almost like Vishnu Bhagavan. Normally, Ram is always standing like a Kshatriya or is sitting with the Ram Parivar, with Mother Lakshmi, Lakshman and Hanuman. But this is a one where is in the almost like an Ananta Sayana, but Lord Ramachandra. Very unique temple, massive. It's a very, very big temple. So all these are all very, very inspiring places where we go and we try to find out. And next to that, at the backyard of the temple is where Lord Rama, he flew from there, he made his jump to Lanka. Just thinking about Lord Ramchandra. So there are so many things. And the Ram Setu bridge is where you are talking about the Dhanushkoti. NASA has already shown the picture that there is something there. Definitely, there is something like a bridge. But again, due to so many political and other reasons, we are not able to know more. Or maybe it's a Lord's arrangement also that we know only so much. But there is there something. And NASA says it's at least like 10,000 years, at least. So then the question normally, even for a common sense person, who can build something in the ocean 10,000 years ago? Who can do that? It's not humanly possible. So whichever way we think, we look at the sun, we look at the moon, we look at things like Ram Setu Bridge, we understand that definitely there is a very supreme power. And we know that by reading Bhagavad Gita, that supreme power is Krishna. So anyhow, here Krishna is saying that we are definitely, we will remain on fragmental parts. That means we are going to be eternally fragmental part, but part and parcel of Krishna. And if we get the pure consciousness, which I think Krishna consciousness path is the best, then we can easily come up, cross over that, transcend that, complete our conditioned life, and serve Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. So devotees, with that, tomorrow is another our big festival day, and I'm sure most of us would be there. Please come, please join. This is the first time Gaur Purnima and Holi will be combinedly celebrated. So please come. Raghu Prabhu, are you planning to be there?
So I'll come. Yeah, I don't know how much I can participate in the holy part of it because of the outside heat.
Right.
I'll try my best, but I'll come for the first part and I'll stay somewhere in the shade.
Sure, Prabhu. And Subal Prabhu is also, they're doing a lot of fundraising. And Prabhu, were you all able to go for door to door, Prabhu?
Door to door, not yet, Prabhuji. Today, Mataji said she was going to go in Riverview area.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, we planned to go today, but it postponed, sorry to cut. But tomorrow no, because we have program. Probably, let's see, Sunday or starting from Monday, Prabhu.
Very good. Very
But
good.
we started our calling party, Prabhuji, today.
Oh, Haribol. Haribol. Would you like to say a little more about calling party, Prabhu?
So our Upendra Prabhuji has created a spreadsheet. So requested devotees to put their names and start calling them and sending them flyers and requesting for the donations, Prabhuji. So devotees, please take up this. I have also started. More than these contacts, please reach out to at least your close friends.
Yes.
That is more important because we already have a rapport with them. your community, in your neighbors. So I reached out to my friends. I already got like 5-6 of my friends. They donated, and whatever we are receiving, we are adding it to the spreadsheet, so you can see if your neighbor friend have donated or not, and if you want, you can reach out to them again. Just a gentle reminder to them. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Absolutely, Prabhu. This fundraising, we have to keep it going. And we can do a lot of smaller kind of a presentation. And I spoke with our Mahesh Prabhu, and I told him we can do a very small for his friends one of the weekend. He said that that's a good idea. We'll see how it works out. We can tell even some of the Hindu temple member. Only one thing though, sometimes when we approach an organization, they may not be that kind of openly supporting us, because every organization has got their job to take care of their entity, their activities, and their own fundraising and so on. So it is better, I think, if we can go and approach, as Subal was saying, some of our friends. Then individually, even if there is a 10 members, we can do a small presentation or talk about that. I think whatever anybody can donate. Money is not the only thing. Participation is also important. Money is also, Lakshmi is also important. Because this, I think, when is the closing, Prabhu?
19th, Prabhuji.
19th, so yeah.
So we need
We
to
have, I think
deposit
there
the
is-
money at least 1-2 days before.
Yes, correct. Yeah, we should all send our money also, our Lakshmi to, I haven't done that yet, but I'll do it as soon as possible. So devotees, see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful Krishna consciousness night. And tomorrow we'll have a grand celebration for God Purnima and of course Holi also. And be well, Shamprasad Prabhuji. We'll see you on Monday.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
Vanchakalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. ISKCON Temple Sankirtana ki jai. ISKCON Temple Bhagavad Gita study ki jai. All those should assemble devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.